Honey Badger Nation,
where real estate agents from around the globe come together
to grow, collaborate,
and expand their business.
Where we take our individual fires
and put them together and make one big fire.
This is the Honey Badger Nation.
Hey, welcome everybody. Today I'm really excited to be here with Angelica Reyes. She has just a fantastic real estate history and a fantastic story, and she's building a nice big team both here we're in Reno, Nevada, and here in Las Vegas. So welcome, Angelica.
Nice thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
We appreciate your valuable time. I know how busy you are, so thanks for giving us a few minutes out of your day.
Well, definitely. If I can provide some advice or anything, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm sure you have a lot to share with us, so we're looking forward to hearing you. So tell us about your story. I mean, you've been in business, 9 years now, did you say?
No, 16 years, actually.
I got that backwards. Okay. 16 years in business. Okay. Yeah. So how have things been for you? What's your real estate journey been like?
Starting out, I really didn't have a great start, because the market began to crash and we were facing foreclosures and short sales. So it was a really challenging market at the time. But what was really awesome is I surrounded myself by really positive people and influencers and people that kind of put their hand out and helped me up. Which has been really kind of like the whole reason behind me building a team is I do remember the beginning years of my career. So for me, it's like whatever I can do to improve someone's life in this career, I would love the opportunity to do that. A few years in, I had one of my mentors actually pull me into leadership here at the association. And it was actually like the pivotal moment in my career where I felt like everything just kind of exploded in a positive way. I was able to connect with people in the industry. My business, just skyrocketed. So I did participate in the leadership board for 8 years, going anywhere from a director to the vice president to president, and also participating in Women's Council of Realtors, which elevated me all the way up to state governor at one point.
Oh, really?
So it's been a blessing. I think just being surrounded by awesome people throughout my career. And back in 2015, I decided, I'm super busy. Let's build a team and help get some support, some of this business off my hands. But since then, it's just continued to grow. I've always been kind of like the outside the box thinker, someone who likes to be challenged. And, if somebody tells me I can't do it, I'm like, watch me. In my career, I've always wanted to have multiple teams in different areas, different communities. And, being a part of EXP it's allowed me to do that, grow my team in Reno and grow my team in Vegas. And from there, I just want to continue. But it's been an awesome ride so far.
So, and I heard you were Realtor of the Year. Was it?
Yeah,
2020. You were Realtor of the Year.
Yeah, it had a lot to do with being so involved at the leadership level here at a local and state level. But yeah, I mean, anytime they asked me to do anything, I was 100% all in, just because I really enjoyed interacting with realtors and people a part of our community all over the U.S. And so it was such a blessing because, 2020, we were just coming out of, the pandemic, in the middle of the pandemic, and being honored like that was awesome. It's always been my goal since I got into real estate to be Realtor of the Year. So it was really cool to accomplish that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And so are you in production now, or is your role running and managing your team? Tell us about that.
I'm trying to phase out of production. I want to be fair to my agents and be there present, coaching them, helping them build their careers. And sometimes it makes it difficult when I'm, working with clients because I'm going in and out of the office. So this has been my first year where I've really pulled away a little bit. If I need to, I'll team up with somebody to help them. But for the most part, I'm kind of going into more of the training, the coaching, the growth part of being a team leader and, giving the business to my agents.
And so you have a team here in Reno. How many people on that team?
So we have 15 in Reno. A lot of my agents are newer. We do have some agents that have been with me for about 5 years. Which has been really cool. I've actually, 2 of my team members were my assistants for 3 years. So we've built a really good foundation. Right now, we actually have 4 agents identified as our Las Vegas team. One of those agents travels back and forth because they grew up in Reno. They have a lot of business in Reno. So when they need to, they fly back or team up with somebody on the team. But it's been awesome kind of bringing that goal, that dream, to light.
That's fantastic. One of the things that I've found here at EXP and I really enjoy is there's such an entrepreneurial mindset that, if that's the sort of thing you want to do, I mean, it's easy. It's just, build it and duplicate it. All the tools are there for you. So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
So
well, that was one of the reasons we moved to EXP is with all the growth mindset and having leaders from all over just be so willing to give you advice and open their book and say, this is like how we do things, how we structure things. It's been really awesome, very enlightening with helping me grow as a team leader.
So you've been with EXP about 18 months now. Do I have that right?
Yeah. We moved here at the beginning of January 2021. Yeah. And then, so it's been really, really nice just being here, learning the systems,
but let's take a step back. So before you chose to make the move to EXP, what brokerage were you with or what were you doing?
Yeah. So funny story is, I've been with different companies. I was a Remax agent and I was there for 5 years. An opportunity presented itself to open up a new brokerage. The owner was out of Las Vegas and he was really wanting to form a team in Reno. And of course I was thinking, oh, this will be great because, we'll cut our costs. We won't have the franchise fee anymore. Our office fees were really, really high when we were at Remax. So it just made sense at the time to save money. And so we opened up this boutique brokerage we had it for about 2.5 years. And I was a managing broker. But we ran into a lot of obstacles, I guess you could say. So a lot of struggles with trying to build a name brand that nobody had heard of. Realizing very quickly that the resources weren't there that we were so accustomed to. And kind of really almost feeling like you were out there on your own. It's like, oh no, we don't have, the other brokers within our company to advise us. We have the one person and sometimes we hit a wall with, them not knowing what the next step would be. And so it was a lot of research on my part and, reaching out to other companies. And so the boutique brokerage was great for a while, but after a while, it's like, man, I really miss that connection with having other offices and having other people within our company being able to help support and, our growth and give us advice. And so that was kind of like the whole reason when we started researching offices to go to. EXP was really at the top of the list. So it made it really nice when we finally did transition.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, and you were the managing broker, so you're at a boutique brokerage, but your problems or challenges were that you weren't a part of a culture, you didn't have the other support around you. You mentioned you thought your expenses would be less, but I'm not sure how that would happen if you had to pay for all the systems yourself.
Well, and that was actually what we ran into quite a bit. Like they didn't have a CRM, which we had one at our previous company. So it's kind of like, okay, well, let me invest myself for my team in those tools. And, the marketing, the budget was very, very low. It was,
Yeah.
like, oh no, we can wait till next month. And it was just a constant, like, okay, how do we promote the building, the office, the company, if we don't have, those funds? And so luckily for me, I mean, I had a really good reputation here, with
Yes, you
being a
do.
part of leadership. We had a lot of support there, but still it was a struggle. I was paying more money, I think, running the team, running the brokerage out of my own pocket than the owner was, and
Yeah.
so it was just
Well,
kind
so
of to a
so
point where
then what was kind of a tipping point for you? I mean, why did you decide to explore EXP, and then ultimately what was it that helped you to make the decision that this would be a good business move for you?
yeah. So what I loved about when I first came to interview with EXP, it was the training in itself. Like that was kind of like at the top of my list. What kind of training resources could I provide my team members and myself to help me grow? Because as a boutique managing broker, I was brand new into managing. I wasn't really supposed to be the manager. I was supposed to just be a team leader. So I was kind of thrown into the role very quickly. So here it was kind of nice because it's like, if you're a new agent, there's tools and training to help you grow as a new agent. If you're a team leader and trying to grow your team, there's resources for that. And you know what I really, really loved was the community. Like you get on these pages and these Facebook groups and, top producing groups and, momentum leaders. And it's amazing how supportive everybody is of each other.
Yeah.
Because we all want to help each other grow. And that's kind of like the culture that I was looking for. It's like, I want to be involved. I want to get excited about where I work. I want to be able to like spread that word with my agents and anybody that I'm talking to regarding EXP. And EXP had that, you could learn anything you wanted, during morning hours before the day gets started, or, do a little bit of research on the back end anytime you wanted to. And that was kind of cool just to have that resource library.
Well, it's interesting that you're saying all this because one of a comment that I frequently hear is because we are a international company and we do have a big virtual piece to everything that we're able to do. The concern is lack of community and lack of, or potentially feeling isolated because of the, sort of master plan, the way things are set up. And I think what I'm hearing from you is that it was the opposite experience for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, so I feel very blessed. My sponsor kind of took me under his wing. He was like an open book. Anytime I needed any questions answered, he's like, come on over. And he's another team leader, like a mega team leader. So to be able to have somebody kind of identified as the sponsor who wants to help you succeed because it'll, ultimately help him succeed was really awesome. I've never been with a company like that. And I think it, with my agents as well, they can walk down, we are really lucky. We have an office environment. It's not all virtual, but to be able to connect with other agents, EXP agents within the industry has been really nice, to have that referral network to, if we want to go travel to one of the conferences, it's almost like just fun family friend kind of community. And I really like that. That's what, for me, has definitely been one of the important parts of like being here with EXP. So the culture.
And it's been the same experience for me too. I mean, the culture of sharing and helping, it's I've never had anybody say no. And it's always been, yeah, what's your email? Here's my system. Have at it. You want some script? Oh, okay, here you go. There you go. Here's a link to my Google Docs. Go play around. Well, like I even spoke with you about it one time. You're like, oh, here's my Google Doc link. Take whatever you want.
Yeah. No, and
was
what's been really cool here too is like, because I've worked, like I said, with a Remax, and there were multiple teams being built at that time, but everybody like was so secretive on everything they were doing. It's like, oh, hey, I see you're having success with this. How did you get to that point? And they were so afraid to share their information because they thought you would steal the business. Whereas here, it's like, oh, I have an idea. Let's put it in the chat, and everybody, contributes. Here also, I love our office environment because my agents even learn from other team leaders. We have Chris Nevada that's having training in here, and he invites our team. Kayla Bailey, yourself. It's cool that we can all support each other and not feel threatened by the information that we're giving out, because we all know we work with different people, different clients.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I
And
really,
we're all
really,
kind of together in this whole boat called EXP. So all of our success supports the other people's success, and it's fun. It's fun to be aligned that way.
oh, definitely. Yeah, I love it. I haven't, in the beginning, it was just an adjustment, trying to understand the systems. But luckily, I mean, whenever I ran into something where I didn't know, I would just call somebody. And you could always get a hold of somebody. It was even the managing broker, Jen McDonald. She's,
Yeah.
oversees the entire Reno area, which is multiple offices, but she still has the time to return your call. And I love that. So,
Well, was there a challenge that you faced, and how did you overcome that? Or not? It's moving is can be time consuming, but how did you find your transition?
I think there were we kind of got stuck a little bit with the onboarding piece, because there was some movement happening behind the scenes with people being promoted and new people taking their spot. So it took us a little bit, but I think they do a pretty good job of like explaining this is what you're going to expect. And then when they send out those emails, like, day one, this is what to expect, and then the process and whatever you need to do to set your accounts up. I like that 7-day process. I thought it was nice because it wasn't too overwhelming all at once. But yeah, I mean, right away, it was just, you could get a hold of anybody. I mean, even our onboarding as they were transitioning, I was still able to go to my sponsor and ask him, okay, I know you're a mega team. Can I ask you what your experience has been, or who the contact person is, to make sure that I set this up correctly? So anytime I needed support, he was jumping in. And I like that. I like having that person that cared with our onboarding. And so for my agents, anybody that I onboard or any people that I sponsor, I walk them through the process and let them know, okay, you're going to expect these emails to come through. You're going to have a point of contact when it comes to onboarding. But of course, at the end of the day, you can always call me and I'll help you with that. So it's been pretty good. I just that first month, and it was just because it was so many of us. There was 11 of us transferring over to EXP. So handling everybody's licenses, it was just a little bit of a challenge, but not too bad.
And you did that sort of at the beginning of the COVID craziness, right?
Yeah, we were just coming, I guess, it was second year going into the pandemic, COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I know you do a lot of coaching and training for your team, and give back wherever else you can too. Are you receiving any coaching, or what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I participate in several of these chats where they do coachings with the team leaders. I do, connect with my sponsor. The other thing I wanted to say that I almost forgot is having certifications here within EXP has helped us tremendously. I opted into the mentor program, which I've learned a lot, regarding EXP and how to onboard people and how to support them. And I think that was one of the things as well when I'm recruiting people that aren't on my team, to let them know that they have support beyond the sponsor, that you actually have somebody assigned to you as a mentor for your first couple transactions if you're a brand new agent. So we've definitely taken advantage of some of those certification programs that we have within EXP. One of my agents is doing the relocation. Another one's doing the REO class. One is going through and trying to see if there's any kind of training regarding probates. But whatever it is, I feel like the resource is there, and it kind of challenges you to take advantage of all this training that they're not charging you anything, right? It's your time, your investment time. But yeah, I think like it's been beneficial, because it's like, what other company offers this to you for free?
Well, and one of the things that I really like about the educational opportunities that are available to you here is, that I think every town, no matter how big the town is, at some point it's kind of a small universe of realtors, and your educational opportunities, if you're at a brand name company, let's say, is frequently that company's education put on by whatever moderately successful realtor that has time to do the class, and it gets a little bit repetitive. But here, it's like you said, one of your agents wants to learn about doing probate deals. Well, we have 80 hours of training every week. So you just look through the list of what's available, and here you're able to learn from a very successful agent that might be, out of Wyoming or someplace, and still can give you a completely different take on how he or she built her business around that. And it's very refreshing to get new ideas from other agents around the country. And at least that's been my experience.
Yeah, no, 100%. So as I was building my team back in the days, I actually felt like there was a lot of information that I wasn't getting here locally, like how to build teams, because the team concept was still fairly new in our city. So you didn't really see a lot of teams. There was only a handful, and they didn't really want to share info. So I actually would go to conferences designed for team building, like how to create your team. And what was nice is, like, with EXP, you have all of that for free. Whereas I spent thousands and thousands of dollars traveling just to find somebody that would teach me how to do that, or like what to look for, how to structure a team, how to be productive, all the tools that you need to run a really good team. So I mean, like I love that. That's like so great that we have so many tools in our hands, that we can access any day of the week and, kind of elevate ourselves up.
Well, Angelica, I really appreciate the time you spent with us, and I want to respect your time. So is there any final thought, piece of advice, word of wisdom that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, if you're considering moving companies and EXP is at the top of your list, definitely explore that. I think with the training, the tools, the resources, the culture, it's like a whole package deal that I think would be beneficial for every agent. When you compare it to other brokerages, it just makes sense. You're saving yourself a lot more money. And the franchise fees in other companies, it's like, wow, why not invest that in your business?
No franchise fees to pay.
Yeah.
So I think do your research. I mean, if somebody's thinking about making a change, do your research, get your questions answered.
Yeah, and definitely, don't be afraid to reach out to someone like Kathy or myself and in this industry and, ask them, what would you ask, if you were interviewing companies. And what's really great is we have that available at our fingertips. So, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angelica. We really enjoyed having you. We'll talk to you again.
Okay.
All right. Bye.